I'm Robin.gerlach, and I got into this industry because of this guy right here. Reed Puser recruited me into the industry in 2017, and we both grew up together in Salida, Colorado, so we were childhood friends. And I was running a tourism business at the time in South America, and he came down and said, "Hey, why don't you come and get into real estate with me?" And I never imagined getting into real estate. I thought it was for only folks who drove around Mercedes, and I just had a different perception of what a real estate agent was. And I came back and shadowed Reed in 2016 and saw that, oh, actually there is a lot of value in what a real estate agent does. And so I got my career started in 2017, and since then have helped over 125 clients all through the spectrum of land deals to $1 million homes and short sales and everything in between. I primarily work a lot with first-time home buyers and buyers, sellers who are moving up. That's been my main clientele. The state of the market. So we get this question a lot from our clients, and let's just zoom out. Let's talk about first seasonality. Typically, in our real estate market, we see about 90% of our appreciation between January and May every year. We see the supply of inventory, or the houses for sale on our market, start very low in January, and it kind of peaks out around July or August every year. Now, this year, we're seeing it a lot more pronounced. For example, per DMAR, Denver Metro Association of Realtors, between the months of May and June, we typically see housing inventory go up 7%. Now this year, we saw that go up 31%. So obviously, we're seeing inventory increasing very steadily. And what about demand? So when we're talking about the housing market, you want to think, what's the supply, what's the demand? That's going to determine where the housing prices are going typically. So supply is increasing very rapidly right now. The demand is actually staying pretty steady compared to years past. It's just up. Pending listings in the month of May were up 4% from a year ago, while the actual active listings at month end were up over 50%. So we're seeing supply outpace demand at the current time. What does that mean for you? So if you're a home buyer, you will actually have a lot more opportunity this summer if you can afford it, right? Because the big challenge right now is the lack of affordability in our market. We have rates hovering over 7% for the last 6 months. When the market was going crazy during the pandemic, obviously rates were in the basically 2.75 to 4%. That was really stimulating this housing market. People were buying up second homes, third homes, and that is what kept that supply so low, and builders were not keeping up. So that is what catapulted us to 18-20% appreciation annually, which is just not sustainable. So today's first-time home buyers are facing the challenge of high rates, but also high prices. So something has to give here. And I think we're starting to see prices are going to start probably giving over the next couple months. I think it's reasonable to expect that we can see prices go down over the coming 6 months, basically between here and the end of the year. Now, that's pretty common seasonality-wise in our market, that we can expect that. But I think we're going to see it a little bit more this year, just because it's hard to expect the Fed making any changes to bring rates down from what we've been seeing over the last year with jobs numbers. They're really trying to get inflation down to 2%. And in order to do that, something's got to break. And so I do think that pricing will come down because supply is as high as it's been, with around 8,500 homes to 9,000 homes given on the week, depending on the week in our market. It hasn't been that high. The housing supply hasn't been that high in our market since 2019. Now, if COVID would have never happened, perhaps the market would have already kind of reset itself. But when COVID came, the stimulation policies of the Fed to kind of keep the economy afloat really shot the market up. And now we're feeling what we probably would have felt in 2020 if COVID never came. I think now we're starting to see that come through in 2024. Get rid of all the TV shows that make real estate look so vain.
I love that answer.
And I think they've ruined the perception of what real estate is, buying and selling a home, and who real estate agents are, the $1 million listing agent. And that's no disrespect to
Can I comment really? I apologize, but I feel like that's one of the reasons the commission lawsuit ended up being unanimous, 8-0 in 2 hours.
Exactly.
Because people's perceptions of real estate are twisted.
Yeah.
HGTV, baby.
Yeah. I would get rid of those TV shows and make a TV show of, you know, what it's actually like for realtors looking at a sewer scope, a video going through a sewer line. You know, that's our job. It's the nitty-gritty, and you don't see that until you get your license. I would also raise the bar for getting into the real estate industry. I would make it a lot more difficult for folks to get in and change the perception in any way possible that it's not as easy as it looks.